Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and start, except for I know I'm gonna be interrupted. Oh my God, I just know. So, and we're waiting for the UPS truck. So she's waiting for the big brown truck because it's bringing a box for her. So she's out there on high alert. And oh my God, she has had such a bad night. And now she has some other weird thing. And I don't know if anybody else has ever had a girl dog who had something like this. It looks like some sort of, not lesions, it looks like some kind of a blisters. It looks like two kind of boil, like really red inflamed kind of boil things right at her vagina. And then she kept licking and licking and was making the other thing that's inside there. I don't know all their anatomy, but there's another thing inside there. And when she was little, the vet said that she had like a pocket in there that was more closed. So I had to clean it with wipes because the urine would sit in there and then it would cause an infection. And so I thought maybe that's what she was having the other day when she was licking, or maybe it was some kind of a nerve thing for whatever the fuck is going on. Today the horse paste comes, so, and that wipes out so much stuff. So if any of the, and so much of what goes after us is parasites or toxins. So I just keep going at it. But anyways, this vagina sore thing, I'm not sure what the hell it is. And I was looking it up and trying to see, and everything was either, one thing said like these vaginal lesions or something is a sign of parasites, and probably from the licking. And the other one said something about the swelling thing, swollen vulva or something, that that it wasn't, both things said it wasn't any big deal. But whatever, it's another thing that's irritating her and making her just not want to sleep. But at least she's smart and I can reason with her. Like last night when she had me up and she was just, oh my God, I was so tired. And I was kind of whiny, but I was telling her, like, I have got to have sleep. I have got to be able to sleep at night. Like, she'll go, like, she was probably dozing off outside on the porch right now. And so she just dozes off throughout the day, but I can't do that. Even last night when she finally went back to sleep, it took me a couple hours to get back to sleep. And then I've never felt like I was totally back asleep. When it was so hard to even wake up to begin with. I was like, oh my God. So anyways, I'm still going through all that stuff. And so I feel exhausted. I see there, it sounds like there's a lot going on out there, but I don't see anything. So I feel exhausted, and but I feel so weird. I feel so freaking weird. Like everything looks weird. I feel weird. I feel disjointed from this reality. Like I feel weird, man. And I don't even know what else to say. Except for it's just weird. It doesn't, like, fuck. It just is, like, way back when it had very first started, and I was saying, like, I get these weird, all of a sudden, these waves of some kind of a food or a place or something. It just keeps expanding. Like, I swear, sometimes I feel like it has to be, like, reoriented back into this reality. Like, it's just like I just shift off, and then it's like, wait a minute, I don't belong here, come back. And also going into to go to sleep and go into whatever dream realm, dream space that we go to. I think it's like a density beyond like our matter. Like the everything that is holds form is a certain vibration, and so the next layer outside of there, I think, is where we go when we are dreaming. I think it's like a realm that is policed too. Especially once I had heard about the whole thing with like Archangel Michael and Gabrielle and all these archangels and stuff that people say they're talking to, that they're really like police over the realm. So the stuff that they're telling is stuff to, I don't know, keep you contained, keep you as a part of, because this is like an experiment for the whole universe. Like, it is like bringing all these different races and beings together, and then all of us are like multi beings. I wouldn't say multiracial or biracial or anything like what we think of. We're way more than that. And so we are all, our DNA and stuff is very expansive when we all learn how to get together. So it's very expansive for the universe. And the way we learn how to get along is through respect, over not trying to control another person, but allowing everyone to be and to learn and to seek and to experience and to evolve. And so it isn't for any of us to control, but control feels more safe, especially when you live in fear. And this is a thing. There was a, Amy, so, I don't know, when we were talking about the, something with the dogs maybe or something. Anyways, she was looking up about the med bed thing. I don't know if one came up, I don't remember. And she saw it was like close to her. And so she went and looked, and there's a huge expansion of how many med beds there are now of these EES facilities. And I've seen other places too opening up that say they're healing centers, Tesla healing centers and stuff like that. And so when I had went and took Stella, a 24 unit was the biggest one. And it was only 2 places that had them. One was like over on the East Coast, and one was in Southern California. So I drove to Southern California to take her because they would let me take a dog in and I could have an overnight. So I drove there, slept in the car, everything. Got there, went and slept in the place, and then drove back home. And then we got to stop at that little farm on the way back, which was so cool. And Stella did so much healing there. It really did, I think, help for sure. And that was 12 hours of sitting there. Plus, we got all of these stones and all this quantum charge stuff that I had gotten. So, anyways, but when I was there was hardly any. And when the place that puts them out, these machines, they said that they were so overrun with so many people who wanted to open places, and so they were trying to get them out as fast as possible. Well, so 24 unit used to be the biggest, I guess, apparently, but now they have 32 unit. So there's a few 32 unit ones, but there's a shit ton of them. And so I went and looked over by me. So now there's a ton in California. There's tons in Utah and Nevada and Arizona and Washington State. There's bunches in little towns, and not bunches in little towns, but bunches of little towns now have these healing centers. And but the weird thing is, so there was a few weird things about it. And on hers had a disclaimer at the top. Nobody, you aren't allowed to go there if you have any of these. So you're not allowed there. Which, think about the energy we're going towards. We're going towards unity. We're going away from fear. And we're going away from discrimination. Way far away from discrimination. But people come up with out of fear that they are allowed to discriminate. When we're, when there's a group of us who are fighting for equality, then there is, or speaking for equality or pushing in the direction of equality, then you have, these people are like, well, we want equality except for, in the case of this, in my case, and that's why I said everything is this moral dilemma. There is no wrong or right. It's your moral compass. It's your moral dilemma that you have to find your place in. And there's always consequences or repercussions. So whatever you find yourself, there's more to the story. And so on this case, just because I can understand what the energy is that we're going towards, because there was a few things, like they even had the letter in is part of their logo thing or part of their display, and they have meetings on that month. That letter that's the same as today, they have meetings there every month to discuss, which I would think those purebloods are definitely would lean into militia kind of, whoa, we're gonna get them. And so I don't know, it seems like that's a lot of hostility, a lot of division and dominance, hierarchy in medical or in healing. And like the healing we're going towards is different. So this is like a healing that is coming to the surface, because even like the way I see it is we're not going to be paying big money, like $140 to go for 2 hours. Like who could afford to do that? Then, once a month would be so frivolous for some people. Once every 6 months. This is like another resource, healing, and it is being held over our heads for those who can afford it. So that isn't the energy we're going towards. So the people who are getting these and trying to profit, they're not just there about people's healing. They're trying to profit, and they're trying to profit off of sickness. That's what we're breaking free from. So you can see, like, there's things, like a lot of these things, just because it's called a healing center doesn't necessarily mean that it's all about humanity. It understands in the direction we're going or anything. And she asked, she went to her appointment and stuff, and she asked, why there's none of these people allowed. And the owner said that they got ill from shedding. So she was around somebody who was, leaking their stuff. And it's like, okay, but don't we have to go out and live in society? So we're going to divide in society? Are we going to start saying, okay, well, all the people who have these have to wear badges, people who don't, are we going to, maybe get tattoos to show if we are? Are we going to, be chipped or something so that we can tell who's who? Like, do you think the plan? That's the plan for unity. That's the plan for the Age of Aquarius, to go in that direction. So when people are going in that direction, how do you think it's going to work out? It's going to have a dead end. There's going to be something that's going to come back on them. It's going to flip back. And one thing that also where people, when they try and act like they get what's going on, it's like, well, you wouldn't be in fear. You wouldn't be in fear of death if you knew what was going on, because death isn't real. So, you're going to push other people back in order to protect something that you don't need to protect. So that's a lower conscious state of being that isn't being pure of heart. That is living in fear. That is feeling you have to control. The universe doesn't know what they're doing, but you do. So you will, decipher, you will, and then they have a whole page, and they want it to be a club, a personal club thing or something where you have to join. And I think that is to cover themselves against discrimination laws, but they have a whole long weird thing you have to go through and sign and stuff, which, that's a strange healing thing. But maybe, they're building community and they're going to find a lot of like-minded people and pull them together. But then you got to think about, what is the energy that they're putting out? And what is the energy that we're going towards? So what needs to be shed? What things need to be let go of? A lot. There's a lot in our society that has to be let go of. There's a huge shift in directions. And, where people think it's okay to discriminate because, well, they could get you sick. Well, anybody could get you sick. Goddamn fucking sky can get you goddamn sick. You can go to the grocery store and get fucking sick. And not just from the sick people who you pass, but from the stuff that you buy and unload into your goddamn fucking thing. It's what people eat and stuff is so much of what is killing them. What they're breathing, what they're eating, and lifestyle. I am having so many more, because my thing. It just keeps going and going and going on the copper and aging and stuff. And I have so many more people all the time in my comments that they started drinking something. Moringa is one too. And I've been drinking moringa, and I didn't know that can be a part of the hair changing too. But, and it has a lot of health benefits. And so, what was I going to say? The people, all the different things that people are doing that are having their hair change. And so it's all depletions, and it can be so many different things. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same thing as somebody else. And the copper is really common one, and iron is common, magnesium is common, but there's so many. It's like 127 minerals, or like there's 120 or something just in the mineral salts. And so there's a shit ton of minerals that we need that we become deficient in. And then that is the signs of aging. And death isn't even fucking real. And all these people are so scared of it. And everything is about your experience to show you who you are. So whatever your experience that you go through is all just about showing you who you are, because you're the one learning from your experiences. And sometimes people are not present, and they don't learn from their experiences what they had planned on learning, and then they have to go in their afterlife expression of seeing, and then they get another perspective. It's all about these different perspectives. And that is like what I keep saying about the Watchers and their ability of perspective and being able to see. It's kind of like a what are those things? Like a magnifying glass, being able to go in and out and be able to see and to understand, because there's so much more of all. Like there's people are around who are going through things, and they can see it, and they don't even understand it. A lot of people don't even try. They'd rather say, oh, that person's an idiot, than to even try and understand, like, fuck, how do you get there? Like, fuck. Because you can learn from so many different things, but that is more where the Watchers can be an observation and watch all of us and learn so much from all of our experiences, which is part of the expansion of the universe, or the solar system, the mind. It's like everything is like this giant thought, this giant mind. It's giant. If you were to think of like, because it's like the solar system it's set up like how we are, with different funneling systems, filtering systems, and everything is micro, macro. And so everything represents everything else. It just depends on what you focus on so that you can try and understand. But it is like, you think of it as being a body, but it's like a mind, a thought. It's like, that's the main thing, it's like a brain or something. The weather is so weird here too. It is so fucking cold, so fucking windy, so like overcast looking. It's just crappy. And I just can't even believe how cold it is. And Houston had a huge storm. And this is another thing that it's going to keep going like this inside these inner cities or bigger cities. All of the cities, especially the ones that are on the water. Those ones are going to have tons of devastation. The storms are going to keep wiping the cities out. But you got to think of that's the push to push, well, you get to go through healing for loss, but to push people in further, so that people have to keep going further inland, because the water line is going to change, like our landscape of how everything is set out. Another weird thing too is I had just went out and did some errands, and the radios Canada, But they were saying how warm and nice it was. I'm on the radio station. Can't be that friggin' far. It's like, how is it fucking so cold? Oh my God, the trauma. Hold on. Come on, please. Goes to the door, starts crying. I go to the door, and she goes down the stairs. So I'm sure she's gonna circle back around. I don't even know what the hell. You hear her? She's still out there crying. See, this is the stuff that is like so mentally exhausting, man. Really, it's mentally exhausting. Like, I mean, I'm not gonna go, you know, put her to death for it or something, but I can understand why it does wear people out, where they're just like, you know, she's this miserable, and why they do. But I know she just is sick, and I know that there's a few things that we have to do, like the horse paste and the glucosamine. And so I feel like that there'll be an improvement in a couple of weeks. And when we just went for a walk, she went in and she started playing with Louie, the little puppy, and she was jumping and running. So she, but then she'll come and, you know, whine at me because she doesn't feel good. So anyways, it wears me out. But so anyways, when you're thinking about like the stuff, like, don't just think, okay, well, it's a healing center, so therefore it's a good place, because they're all going to be different. And some of them, you know, a lot of people are showing their truth, showing who they really are. And they live in fear. Only certain people can heal. And one thing too about these med beds, that I think these kinds of things are what we're going to have in our house. Like, I don't think these are going to be like what people are going to be going, and especially paying that kind of money, because like everything is going to switch on the resources, and healing is going to be a natural resource. It's a fucking vibration and frequency. And it's just like these TV screens, all it needs is a room. And I think we'll all end up having these in our houses. When I had seen stuff about it before, this one doctor who had his hair change, all of his joints started going back. He had a bad knee or something from a surgery. Everything healed. Everything went backwards. But he went in every single day, and he had the 24 unit or 12 unit in his house. And that's why I was like, oh, see, that's, you know, that's what somebody who has money can do. But that is when abundancy rolls in. That's the kind of stuff where we'll be able to live like that. You know, have a healing center in your own house where you can go in, meditate, spend time by yourself in reflection, pick up your vibration, and, you know, and then go out about your day, and you'll feel good. The healing, the real medbed things that I'm talking about that really detoxify us and heal our cells back, grow limbs back. And it's sad too, because I'm seeing people like getting limbs cut off right now. But this, and people are getting all their insides taken out, all sorts of stuff, man. Like, medical has gone off the fucking chain. And then plus, this place was a medical place that turned over this other direction. And so, and a lot of people too is, you know, there's a group of people who think of themselves as like they're pure blood. They're smarter than everybody. They know more. So they are already in that kind of, oh, we're better than you. And this stuff keeps coming up and coming up. Like, there's all these videos, like, I don't even know what the hell it is about. It is video after video. Oh, so now you've got Gen X. Now Gen X is involved. Who said Gen X is involved? Well, we said Gen X. Everything is about this Gen X, and I don't know if they're going to change the world. I fucking don't even know at this point. Like, what the hell? Oh, there's a stray dog. Oh, I think it's the 2 German shepherds. I think they got out. That's weird. They're usually really good when they're walking with their person. Huh. I don't know. God, Stella doesn't usually get that upset. I was like, that was, and I'm always on edge because I'm always thinking I'm going to see like the Secret Service down there. And I keep thinking about those guys in that black SUV. Like, what in the hell? Now the neighbor's coming out. And she'll go rush them home. That, I just am so weirded out, especially once I put it together that like that was September. That was way before that I was going to have the house auctioned. I don't think they'd even threatened to buy it by then. I don't remember. Maybe it was right after that. And but I'm sure it was on some sort of list because I kept having people pull up and looking, and that's where I kept thinking, it must be on some sort of gonna foreclose list, so go out and look if you want to buy it at auction or whatever. And I had all these different people coming, and then I was outside and I was cutting branches off of this tree, and these people, this car, this black SUV, just pulled up like in front of my neighbor's house and just sat there watching me in the middle of the street. Didn't pull over or anything, just stopped in the middle of the street and just sat there watching me. And I was like, okay, that's fucking weird. And I start to walk in, and I walk in through the gate because I was outside of the fence. And so then I walk into the gate, then they pull up into my driveway part in front of my gate and pull up there and start asking me if I'm Kelly Hart. And I was like, no. And I had my hair up in a hat and stuff. I was like, how do these people, how would they know? You can fucking say whatever the fuck. And that's what my dad had told me before. He had told me that a long time ago when he was on the run from the IRS. He was like, just tell him that, nope, that's not me. And I don't know if they ever caught up with him or whatever. I think they said he owed a lot of money after his business closed or something, and he went in the direction of alcohol and drugs, and so anyways, but so I said, no, it's not me. And he's like, wants to, oh, so it's not you? And I was like, no. And he goes, well, he asked me some other question. And I was just like, I don't know. And then he asked me another question. I was like, I don't know. And so then I just walked up here. Oh my God, the drama with this girl. Hold on. Still, don't you, I swear to God, I am trying to do something. God, oh, you just think everything is about you every day, all day long. So, oh my God, I'm only 28 minutes. Jesus Christ. This probably won't be that long. So, anyways, oh my gosh, and yesterday after that hit into my throat, however it was, that hurt so bad, and it was so fast. And I was coughing and coughing and coughing for minutes. My eyes were just pouring. It hurt so bad. And I was like really hoarse for a few minutes. Couldn't even talk. It was like, and that happens each of the times. And it's the weirdest thing. It's like I start to talk about something and it's just like, I don't know. But, where was I? Every time I get interrupted, it really throws me off. Let me think for a sec. Well, anyways, about this energy thing, about the energy we're going towards. This energy we're going towards is about, you not having biases, definitely not discriminating. God. And I was thinking, some of these people who are, pushing on discrimination, they are loud about don't discriminate against them. But then they feel like that they need to discriminate against somebody else. It's like, that is definitely something coming to the surface for humanity to purge out of. Discrimination is, you know, last millennia. Oh my gosh. Stell, please let me do this. I'll try and give her some medicine. Hold on. You just gotta lay down and rest. When we turn the heater off, is it bothering you? That's another thing that we argue about. I'm always freaking freezing and she's always hot. Here you go. Turn this heater off. Okay, now we'll see. It won't last. I swear, I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm just her little whipping boy. It's just like, now she's gonna go for the, Stella, I'm gonna go get that thing and put it on your neck so you can't reach. She has one of those donut things back there. Because whatever she is doing, whatever it's irritating, she's making it more irritated. Because she won't fucking stop licking it. Whatever these sores are, which no clue. If anybody else has had them on their dogs, telling me, and it was something serious. But everything that is the C word is always parasite. So that's always the direction. And they want to take us in other directions, you know, and assault us with a heavy chemical load. But that is more assault on us. You know, it's crazy too. It's like my daughter's coming either tonight or tomorrow. One of my daughters. And hopefully everything goes smooth. There's been so many times when she was going to come and then something always happens. But anyways, but she's vegan. She's always strict on the vegan thing. And, you know, I was making some, what was it? Oh, I made this whole thing of bread, which dead. I don't like it at all. It's going to the squirrels and birds. But, I tried to make one of the loaves like cinnamon, and I put butter. I was like, oh, she won't eat any of that. No, I don't think anybody needs to eat any of it. But like the middle part's kind of cool. It's kind of like English muffin kind of, but I don't know. I just don't like it. And but the butter, and then what was another thing? Oh, because I made those cookies and they had eggs in it, and the thing is with them, the vegan people, is they go get alternatives. So they get alternative butter, alternative mayonnaise, alternative eggs, and stuff like that. And I had said years ago, it was like 2016 when I started talking so crazy. And I had said that everything will go back to more natural, more basic. Honey, please just lay down and rest. Everything is going to go back to more basic ingredients. It doesn't matter when I were to start. I'm interrupted all the time, all day long. I don't know what to do. We just drug her up and drug her up. I'm going to have to get more of or get her RSO as soon as the treats get here. I was like, I'm going to give her some RSO. I'm not going to be able to talk very long. This is way too disruptive. Maybe I'll do another one when she starts snoring. But anyways, any of the things, don't just all of a sudden, just because it's classified as healing or whatever, just go into it as like, oh, this is a healing thing. Oh, this is a spiritual thing. Oh, this is that, or this is this. Because it's individual. That's what so much of this is about teaching you, because it's about your own biases. Your biases have to come to the surface. That's why, you know, Trump, the TDS, which, if you don't know, it's called Trump Derangement Syndrome. And then SJW, if you don't know what that is, Social Justice Warrior. So there's certain drives that have people that have things that are coming up to the surface so that they can see for themselves. Feels like all my nerves are shot. I feel like I'm a wreck. Like, oh God. And this energy, and man, it's like, come on, something's got to give. something has got to, like, we got to be close. We got to be so close. Like, how can everything just keep being more intense? But I don't know, this freaking, this OK Corral thing between Donald and Joe will be more about exposing, because even the stuff that it's all, because everything that Donald had said from the start, it all went down. Like, there was way, because he knew what was going to go down. It's because it was all, see how she'll just jump up like that? I know she's uncomfortable. But that was all set up. So he's just playing out a part. It isn't, by chance. No, they knew because it was set up. It was a role. And so, yeah, he was going to for sure do all those things that he had said. But that is where people got to, like, I don't know, start thinking different, thinking more outside of the block or outside of the box. People, like, think through ego, and they all want to think like that they know or see, and like you got these people who just are die-hard Donald fans, and then you got the people who all the different things for all the different people, so it can all come to the surface, and so people can see for themselves. And you just, at this point, you can't just think like a certain place just because they carry a name is it safe, it's a okay or whatever. You have to still be on guard. You have to still be thinking, because a lot of this stuff is coming to the surface, and as things come to the surface, people don't complete it. They just go straight to the fear and just stay there, start groups and create division and hierarchies, and when your group is based on that, it's not going to go well, because that is the stuff that is coming to the surface for people. That's what's pushing up to be released. That's not the direction we're going. The direction we're going is you'll be able to be in the room with any person, and you wouldn't be triggered. Nothing. Like, you would just feel like it's just another human being having their own experience, and you wouldn't feel like judgmental over them and stuff. And one thing too, there's so many people who get so stuck on like our skin here in this life. It's like, when you understand your DNA, you are a multitude of different beings and stuff. Your skin color makes not a goddamn bit of difference about anything. And as far as you want to relate to it is up to you. But we all have relation to all these tones. We've all come in and played all these parts. We've been each other's ancestors. We've been each other's opponents. We've been each other's friends. We've been, we come as like a group of, I kind of see it like a comedian group, would travel around, like a burlesque group or something that would travel around and do the circuits and play all different parts and stuff. But it was like a group or an improv group or something, like these certain groups that would do these performances and play all different parts. That is just what it is. That is just what you are. You aren't just this thing that you think you are. So if you're all up on your own self, like you think you're so fucking better than everybody else, it's like, well, you're not. And if you think you're worse than everybody else, well, you're not. We're all just the same. It all depends on how you look at things, and the things that you look at are there to show you and teach you how you look at things, so that you get to see, like, and it's so kind of shocking is that I was shocked that somebody would put like total frontal discrimination, and then to not even to think like that's okay, and to be, that's set. There's no two ways about it. Isn't that kind of like, wasn't there religious people who wouldn't serve gay people because it's not in my beliefs, so you can't, you don't belong here. Or, I mean, before it was darker people, and they weren't allowed in the same bathrooms, and weren't allowed in the same restaurants, weren't allowed to use the same drinking fountains. There's just always been this but we're breaking free from that. That's a big, huge thing. And so people who are still holding on to that energy, they're going to have it, be hitting. It's going to be knocking at the door hard, just like the windows in Houston. And some of those huge buildings, those big glass buildings, the windows all blew out. They're just shattered in the streets. There's holes in all the buildings. This was all from a big windstorm or something, apparently. That was yesterday. So Houston is all just devastated. And they had just had those floods, but all this devastation is going to keep going, like I said, on these coastal towns especially, but in the inner cities and everything, because it's all meant to keep pushing us and pushing us. But everybody's got to go into their own inner voice to find where they're meant to be, what direction they're supposed to go. Everything is inside of you. It's not like I could sit there and say, oh, well, everybody's got to do this. There's no right answer. There's no perfect explanation. Everybody's got to learn how to listen to themselves and trust this storm as it's riding out, that in whatever direction you're going to go, if you're leaving the game or if you are continuing on. But continuing on is going to be hard work, because facing your biases and stuff, especially when you have extreme fear that you're trying to overcome and face through your biases, and discrimination at a time of unity and love and acceptance is just not going to fly. And I think there's going to be a lot of is going to be exposed too on the medical, this shifting into these med beds and stuff, because people are jacking up the prices and making them so expensive. It's like, well, there's a hierarchy to healing. It continues. There's more people who could afford their copay to go see their regular GP. They're $5 to $30 than to be able to go and sit in a med bed where it's going to take longer, when most of the med thing for your $5 or $30, you go in, you get a piece of paper, they'll give you that for free. They'll hand you a whole bottle full of stuff that'll make you feel better real quick. And most people trust that. They trust that system. And then to be angry at people, and then to say, how dare you? And, you're below me because you went and got any of these and stuff like that. Because people I know who got them aren't stupid people. Like, they were people who thought that they were doing the right thing. They thought they were trusting science. They thought they were, in the forefront because of the manipulation and what they believed and how they looked at life and stuff like that. But that is why certain things are going to play out, so that they get a new perspective. They get to see. But that's what it is. It isn't like, oh, you guys are the winners. You pureblood. You won. You're the smartest. Or, the people who are... Because there's that kind of same division on the government thing. Because you have these groups that hang on to their fear of the situation, and then they think that they're so much smarter than everybody. Everybody else just isn't awake. They don't see it. And it's like, oh, there's probably some groups that don't see it, but when you're awake, you just stop caring about that stuff. You just let it go. You become an observation. You become aware. Oh, that's happening over there. That's happening there. That's happening there. And you can see how all these different realities are playing out for different experiencers, so that they're all learning from this impactful time on the planet. And so you can see that, but it doesn't have the same effect. It's not like... And you definitely, as you awaken to your truth, you realize, you're billions of years old. You're not going to fucking die here. And they can't fucking kill you. And when you leave, it's a part of your story. And when you get sick or when you get hurt, it's a part of your learning, your overcoming, your resilience. It's a part of, your story. It's a part of what you're here to experience. And so you're supposed to have, you're supposed to get injured. You're not supposed to know it ahead of time. You're supposed to go through the experience so you heal. And I know for sure about that whole thing. Especially getting a brain injury and stuff, and then being able to look back and see how I was ignoring the signs, and I kept just working and I was focused too much on the rat race. And it was losing focus of, my life. My daughter's resentful of me. She was a teenager, and I went out and did other things, and And too many guys, too many boyfriends or too many husbands and too many assholes. And so anyways, but that was my broken sides of me, going out and looking for somebody to accept me, to make me feel more whole, more complete. And that's just an empty chamber. It really ends up just sucking the life out of you. It doesn't give anything back. When you go in that direction, it's all for you to learn. So it doesn't replenish you, it drains you. And it gets you to a point where, you have to like save yourself. You have to, everything has directed me towards healing, and everything, falling apart. It is the keeping going, your resilience, you're pushing forward. That is what you're made of. That's what the experiencers are for. So you can keep going, and you show yourself your own power. And it's like it's set to take you in different directions at the exact right time. You're never doing it at a different time than you're supposed to be doing it. You're never supposed to figure it out beforehand or any of that stuff. You're supposed to just get into the flow of like how it goes, and everything has its timing, and everything has everything has like a purpose. The people you interact with, the situations that have every day, it all is about you learning how to take care of yourself, to be a better person. Like, when I through all this stuff, I'm constantly like, what is it I'm supposed to be learning from this? Like, you'd think, like, I went through, one dog dying through quarantine, her being sick, my foster, like, I've had the other ones come and stay while somebody couldn't have their dog. So I had, Trixie was here for a while. I had Brutus for a while. Brutus wasn't here. Well, no, Brutus wasn't here at this house. It was at my other house. But anyways, the yeah, but whatever I was gonna say, the something with dogs, or going through, and even having that a girl come here who, man, from what I had heard last, things did not. I mean, she's resilient, like picking up her pieces and stuff, but I don't think it went well with her family, so that's sad. But you can't just blame it on one person. Others, everything is there for you to see, for you to grow, for you to heal. So there's reason for how things play out. And it's a big thing too, is for people to not to learn that it's not something that is wrong with you, because things go in a certain direction. It is meant to go that way. It's not because you're broken or you made a mistake or you're not good enough or any of that stuff. It's meant to be the way it is, because that is where you learn from. You can't change what is. You can't make it be different than what it's supposed to be. And you set it up. That's the thing. You set it up. So once you get in the groove of your own setup, then you start feeling the benefits and seeing it, because you're the one who created it. And so many people, it's like they fight against their own creation. It's so anyways, but through this stuff, with healing, or so medical, any of these different things, that it still is going to be people exposing these sides of themselves. Like if they're, for profit off people's sickness, and choosy over who's allowed to get better, and then to be scared, that, oh, well, I was around somebody and they shed it, because that could totally be just in your head too. Like you're focused on it, so you create it for yourself, and that's out of fear. And then because there's always this part where we're not flesh and blood, and then this because if the vibration changes, we're not going to splatter. You just kind of fade away. So you lose vision. So it's an illusion. It's just your like a hologram. Oh yeah, and today's the big Vatican meeting thing about the paranormal and supernatural world, and for people to be prepared, you're going to see more and more stuff. And another thing too is, man, I see so many more people now talking about the sun simulator. It's just so wild because when I very first started talking about it a few years ago, and I was talking about the sun's not real and stuff, and people thought I was so wacky. Now it's just like so many people, yeah, sun simulator, and they HARP or something has come out and said that they were testing the days that we had the aurora. They were doing some tests up there to create an aurora. I knew there was some fake ass shit because we should be able to look at the sky and see it. And besides, there's so much phenomena going up in the sky right now too, where I think it's blue beam or holographic. There's so much stuff, So, and, there's just going to be some things that are real and some things that aren't. The basic thing is to just know, like, this multi-dimensional, supernatural, spiritual world is real. Everything that they told you that goes against that was lies, was all fake. And so the more that you can lean into the magic of the supernatural world and what's real, then the more, things will make sense to you. If you keep fighting against it, and there's going to be so much, like even with the religion and stuff, and there's so much more coming out with Micah. And I swear that's going to bring down more stuff in the church and more of how these people like cover each other and more with chaos with DAs and stuff. Like, it's such a big cover up. And it's like, why would they do so? Why kill this girl? Like, there's got to be something bigger that's being covered up that is going to be the big exposed thing. Again, there was casings and stuff around. There was one that was, there's a lot of suspicious stuff. It's clear, that she was killed, and then it's cover up, and the church is involved and their lawyers and stuff. So we're going to keep being, more and more is going to just keep being exposed about, what's inside of people, who people are at their core, how they look at things. And so you just got to be aware, and go with the flow and just keep working on you and working on your healing. And you still need to work on accepting other people. Like, don't be like, oh, well, they're a stupid idiot. Oh, you think you're a pureblood? No, you just got to be like, well, it's just like have mercy, when you look at people, when they are rigid or they think in this divisive kind of manner, then you just got to be like, well, it's like, for they know not what they do. And once the truth is shown to them, once the lights come on, that those kinds of divisive acts will be embarrassing. They'll be like, like, why wouldn't I be connected more to my soul? Why would I be so scared of this? Or why would I be so scared of that? And so that is a part of the realization, and see how it is all going to go with this, whatever is going to occur where the lights come on. And I still don't know. I mean, they could be fucking any kind of drama that go on with the debates or anything. Like, there's so much stuff. Like, anything could go down. They could go in and arrest Joe today and say he's held for crimes in some other place. There's all sorts of just wild stuff going. And it's going to keep going. So it's nothing to be in fear of. It's just their whole thing has got to fall apart. So that's government, medical, everything, the housing market, everything has got to fall apart. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying about those guys and how they pulled up and then they were talking out there. And then he stood there and stared at me, like trying to be intimidating, and then just got in the car and then they drove off. But the way that they did that again the other day, or a couple weeks ago, and this time he didn't pull out and just sit and stare at me. They still went down the driveway, and they were parked down there at the end of the driveway. And I was walking out to go take her for a walk. And when I walked out on the porch, I saw him sitting there. When I came out on the porch, he got out of the car and stood up, and I walked back in the house. And then he just stood there for a few minutes, and then he got back in the car, and then they sat there, and then they drove off. I was like, that is weird. It's definitely not the people who bought my house. I think that that is just going around in circles. And yeah, I think you're completely right, Vortex. I think that is the part where they want to keep you trapped in. They want to send you, oh, here, we got your answer. I get so many emails. And there's one thing too, you got to just go, don't open these emails. Like I get one after another that says that, my new purchase, I've bought this, they're sending that. Don't open any of those. Those are a trap. Those are all scams. You just delete, 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 delete. So I've got tons of those, tons on the house and what I can do. And then they're sending me these things in the mail, how I can stop if I disagree with the foreclosure. And I think that is just because they want to keep me on the line. They want to think that they still have control as everything plays out, but they don't. What they would normally do, the courts aren't there for them like that. They can't just go and evict people out of their houses. So I think in all the places are going to be different too. Like I had no idea what was going to go on in Washington State or Whatcom County or any of that, especially because Whatcom County, said that they sold my house in one day. I was like, that's corrupt. But I think that they just keep going around in circles. There's only so much they can do because normally they would be able to do this and then evict you and all this stuff. But I think that there's problems in what they're doing. So to me, it's more sit tight and just let things play out, not go and push and not be desperate and fearful. Oh, well, here, I know you can save me now. No, it's not even acknowledging them. It's like, no, you have no power in my life. I'm going towards freedom. Wherever that is, that's where I'm headed. And I know it's up ahead. And I know it comes with a price of being accepting of other people, being loving and caring about other animals, caring about everything. It's a new way of living where it's not just about people are negative and hateful and out for themselves and um, don't care about other animals and just all of that stuff. So, anyways, that was that's the direction. So it's just kind of shocking when you see a part of it, like, oh, we're going towards the healing centers, but we're going towards division and only certain people can heal. Like, and another thing too is like even when you go to those places, you're just sitting in these like recliners with these TVs with these colors going and all these different people in chairs. It's not like how would somebody be able to just shed on you unless you're hugging them or getting and touching tongues or something. And you should be washing the chairs down anyways. And even if you're going to say, oh, well, the people who get sick easy, they don't want a thrombosis or whatever, so they're not going to be around these people. It's like, well, then why wouldn't you have certain times, like in this slot of time, if you're immunodeprived or whatever, that you can come at this time? And I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff where it's not it's just 3D healing. It's just, the same way as like the 3D spiritual, how the spiritual went off on the 3D version. And it's the same with this healing and medical. So you can check and see if there's more of those things in your town or whatever, but just be aware, like it's all different groups. They may not, be in alignment with how you look at life when you go to them and how you feel about things and stuff. So, and then, yeah, I don't know. It's just for everybody to decide for themselves, like where you want to invest and who you want to invest in and what energy. And then plus, though, if it's the only one close, then you'd also don't want your own biases, like to get in your own way. That's why it's very variable. There's no right or wrong way. It's really easy to sit back and tell someone, oh, this is what you got to do. But, you're the one who's got to go through it. You're the one who's got to experience it. You're the one who's got to make those decisions for yourself. There is nobody who can tell you the exact right thing for you. It's your journey. So, anyways, let me think now how long I've been talking. Oh, look, we made Now she's kind of snoring. But I think I've kind of said what I had to say. I've gone over it and over it. And I washed my hair with baking soda the other day because I keep having these people like, oh, you got to do the baking soda. So I've done it a couple times. And every time it dries my hair out so much. This time I washed it with that aloe vera. It's like this aloe vera shampoo that's biotin and aloe vera. It looks like it's all natural stuff, but I definitely like how my hair feels afterwards. It just feels so much more cleaner, even though it's like super soft and just like hangs down. When it's dirty, it kind of has more body, I think. But and I got one of those wood combs because supposedly plastic combs causes static electricity in your hair, makes your hair fall out more. And so I got a wood comb. Boy, that is a change. It's different than I even thought. And I've got two of them. And so I was like, man, I don't know. I would kind of, I don't know, because even if you had one, I guess it would have to shellac it so it would get through your hair or something. But it almost seems like hard plastic still. So I don't know. And it's so much different for how it combs. Like I do like how my big tooth plastic one combs my hair. This one is like a lot different. But anyways, like all the different things going towards big changes, going towards things that are supposed to be better for us. And I don't know if all of them make a big difference. You know, the wood comb, like, fuck, I have no idea. I feel like it's going to be like we're going to be pulling more and more away from chemicals, plastics, artificial stuff. That's why there'll be big changes in our clothing. It's going to go more towards natural fibers. Because so much of our clothes is made with petroleum and oil and plastic. And so there's going to be so many changes that we're going to keep going through and things falling apart. And but just on all the different things, just keep remembering, you know, it's for you to be looking at. It's not like so you can go change somebody, go lecture them and tell them, you know, what they need to do and how they need to do it and how they need to think and what they need to look at. Oh, everything is like falling the way it's supposed to fall. And it's not up to you to go in and, you know, tell anybody anything. It's, you know, just allowing it. Just to not allow it because it's not up to you, but to uh, like to just allow it as it's going, falling apart around you. Just be like, you know, go with it. Don't try and fight against it. Don't try and hold on to things that are going away. And there is going to be such shifts in people's attitude, and people have to face some dark stuff to change their attitude. So there's going to be hard lessons for a lot of people. And there's going to be more hard medical lessons. There's going to be a lot of hard religion things, a lot of division stuff. Where there's just so much of the hierarchy, so much of the people who think like, well, we're the better group. And those other people, they need to join our group. It's like, no, you got to just be like, you know, you want to be in your group, then that other group is just as valid as your group. Nobody needs to change. So we're going to keep having groups that are going to keep being on the standoff, like, until everybody just, you know, throws it down and says, like, yeah, who cares? Who cares what color hat you wear, or what color t-shirt, or what, any of this stuff. Well, there's going to be more that's going to come out with the flag stuff. Like, that's going to be a part of lessons or something. But also, there's going to be this letting go of anything that is about telling us, confining or containing us. Well, you're American, you have to stay in America unless you have your papers. Well, you're Canadian, you have to stay in Canada unless you have your papers. Well, you're this, you're that. And that is going to be shifting. So those things are going to be falling apart too. But see how everything has got these segments and different parts that have to play out and fall apart. But we're definitely going towards that. That'll be a part. There should be no containing us. Like, where anybody ever came up with containment, like that you have to stay where you're born or something. It's like, there's people who come from other countries. Your parents came and had, like, that makes no sense. Like, there's no reason for anybody to tell us anything. We get to make those decisions for ourselves, where we want to be and how we want to live our lives and what kind of people we want to be around. And that doesn't mean that we have to go and change everybody to be what we want them to be. But there will be, this alignment where you will find people who are in alignment with you. And the alignments it won't be as like divided, like, like we're all gonna fight with each other, but there will be like unity and peace, because people will be around people who they are more in vibration with. So there will be a lot more peace and unity, but there's still going to be some clumsiness as we work towards all this. So, and everything is for you to question for yourself. Just look at the things and don't get too caught up. I think it's really easy to think like, oh, well, a healing place, a spiritual place, then that is, all about the energy. I'm going to get all involved with this group but they could be a very toxic group. They could be very, uh, but it's up to you to go in and see for yourself and see, how you fit in, where you fit in, if you want to fit in, if you have any kind of alignment with the people. So anyways, that is my rant, I guess. I feel so weird. I feel like, I don't even know, did I even say all the stuff I was going to say? I just feel weird. And I felt like her fit for the last couple days right in the middle. It's like, I don't know, that's intense. That gets me all off. And then no sleeping. I don't know, the whole thing. Everything feels weird. The weather feels weird. Everything feels weird. So, and while my daughter's here, it would probably be like, I'll just record whenever I have time. I'll probably still do it more early in the morning, because she usually doesn't get up as early as me. Like, I'm up in the motherfucking middle of the night. If that keeps being a problem, then just when I'm up in the middle of the night, I'll just record then or something. So anyways, I'll somehow get to it with all the distractions. Stella, and my daughter, she's bringing 3 dogs. So it will be, there will be more chaos. But anyways, so that's just the way it is. And I don't know if I finished saying all the stuff I was going to say. If I didn't, I'll maybe catch up on a different day and remember. So I don't know. I feel scattered. So just remember, though, because this is what it's all about, is learning how to love yourself, learning how to love everybody else, and learning how to make the choice to choose love every day. So learning how to love yourself, love everybody else, and make the choice to have a loving day. And I'll talk to you later.